Guess what? They're here today. So now that we have just a Juneteenth history, we have a literacy corner. I am proud of all the artists that are authors that are here today. I'm proud of you for listening today. So we're gonna get me out of the way. Thank you so much. Okay, listen up.
Colorado Springs, how y'all enjoying yourself?
How y'all doing? Y'all sleep?
Y'all saying it's time to wake up.
That don't sound like my people out there. How y'all doing?
So we're gonna explain a little bit about ourselves. Go ahead.
Ladies first.
I'm sorry, thank you. My name is Heather Bowers Moultrie, and I am one of the owners of LBA Services, LLC. And what we do is we deal with families that are in the child welfare system. So we do life skills and supervised visits, trying to get the families to reunite back with their children when when DHS gets involved, and they come and take the kids, and then we work with the parents and try to get them back with their children. So those are the things that we do in our business.
Ooh, I like going on. I am Thomas Sacred Montour from the Cree, Blackfoot, and Taino tribe. From the South, I'm also a shamanic spiritual coach. For anybody that want to get back in tune with themselves, hit me up. I'm also a official member of MOI. Proud to be here on the One Body ENT. Let's learn.
Hello. First one up is Donovan Baggett.
Let's go, Donovan.
What's this book called?
The Depth to the Trap. Let's go, brother. Work.
I wrote a book, actually I wrote an album about 3 years ago now. The album was called Depth to the Trap. The trap, to me, you know what I'm saying, was like traps of my mind. Obviously in my life, you know, and growing up in the areas that I grew up in, trap also was, you know, selling dope and things like that. So my son, it was around the time where he came, and this title, you know, it kept sticking with me, you know, because I was watching all these different boys, you know what I mean, in our communities and stuff like that, and the way that they were coming up and the things that they were doing, and it's like they weren't learning anything, and, you know, we were losing so much, you know, when it came to mentorship and fatherhood and stuff like that, was directly to me correlated with what was happening with these boys. So that's how Depth to the Trap came about, and I turned the album into a book because the words of the album, they weren't getting out in the manner that I thought they should, and I wanted to be more creative and kind of go in another direction. So I translated it into a book. So I'm from Hopkins, South Carolina. Depth to the Trap is more than a book to me. It's more of a message, a mindset, and a movement that I want all of us to be a part of in some sort of way, because we play our positions in different ways. The book is about healing, identity, and breaking cycles. It's the kind, I wish I had something like this growing up. I went out and looked for mentorship myself. So if you want to follow my Facebook and Instagram to be able to keep up with the campaigns I have going on, I'm in the city every day. My Facebook is Don Badgett. I'll also be moving around and kind of introducing myself to everyone and talking to everyone individually. At @thereal_Don B is my Instagram if you have Instagram. Glad to see everybody, and thank you for supporting, taking videos. It's my team right there in the middle, my family. Love y'all. And I love y'all too out there. So thank y'all for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Jayla Higgs, and I am a two-time author of 2 poetry books, One More First Time and Resurface. One More First Time is really just having one more first time with your feelings. I feel like nowadays, in this day and age, we don't really acknowledge our feelings and we like to bottle them up. And then Resurface is really just about being able to be reborn and be a new self. That's why there's a phoenix on the front, so there's that. And now I'm going to share one poem from this book. It's called Common Talk. It's really just about how there are things that we say that hint and lead to why white is good and black is bad. No one talks about how black people have different voices for different conversations. There are things you just do not say, slang or words you cannot relay around certain people. Me with black friends is not the same as me with white people. Girl, I love your hair. Oh, thank you so much, Smile and Wave. You see, you have to lead before it becomes a petting zoo. Before your braids are caressed by strangers in awe, I'm telling you, if it was my homegirl, I'd hook her up with my braider. Because the appearance of one black person describes us all. How do you think stereotypes are made? Yes, one judgment call. No one talks about how black has such negative connotations and white is praised. How come all angels are white and black angels are disdained? The ugly duckling was black, why couldn't it be white? Old nursery rhymes resemble how Mary's little lamb had white fleece, but I'll blackmail you if you don't give me your sheep. And do not forget too how black cats are bad luck. You see, we're trained into this perception from the womb, from the books we read that stuck, from the shows we used to watch in our bed and drawings. Are there any black angels and black men at the Lord's Supper? Read that again. Do you prefer angel food cake or the devil's food cake? It's a white or black question. Don't you see the connection? Black is a negative connotation. Everything good is white. Blacks are not supposed to amount to anything, but we are allowed to tell white lies, and anything darker than that is a terrible way to get by. We worship a white Jesus in the Bible that never disclosed his skin color. Are you going to stop praising him if he is black? You choose the things you believe, the things you let float and linger in your ear. And you choose the things you fear, even the God whom you pray to, my dear. So white or black, there is no choice that doesn't hurt the other. The other being real people, no matter the history, who don't deserve an attack for having appearances that are opposites of each other. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tanya Kent, and I have the privilege and honor to write 2 books. My first one is Radical Woman, Resilience After Difficult Issues. This book is based on learning how to read at the age of 34 and overcoming a lot of obstacles. I was diagnosed with dyslexia, and I thought dyslexia was my identity, but that wasn't my identity when I learned about Christ Jesus. So with that being said, he gave me the strength to be able to write about my story there. And then the second one is Unmothered, a memoir of survival, resilience, in the search for family. I was left without my mother and raised with my grandmother, but the scars that left without having my mother in my life, I talked about that in my memoir, and God is just so good, y'all. That did not stop me either. And so again, my identity is not wrapped up in the things that people say about me, the things that I experience. It's wrapped up in the identity of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Hi, thank you. Thank you. So yes, my name is Dee Denise, and I'm a certified trauma-informed coach. I have been coaching and studying trauma for the past 2 years, which inspired me to create 2 books. I created a novel. The title is Pussy, the Unwanted Daughter. And in this novel, you're going to get to grow up with a little girl, and everybody loves a coming of age story, right? But you're going to be able to grow up with her, not physically, but mentally. You're going to see how she is growing up through what we call developmental trauma and how it is impacting her mind through the traumatic events that she experienced. Now, my job as a trauma-informed coach is to help you process what is happening and coach you towards fighting it. How do we stop it? How do we notice it? Not just as a victim or someone who's experienced trauma, but how do you protect and show compassion for those in your neighborhood? How do you spot it? How do you get ahead of it? How do you save a child's life? And that is what this workbook is about, Pussy the Workbook. It blends my 2 favorites, faith and therapy. When you put the 2 of those together, it combines transformational healing, not just for yourself, but the people around you. That's what I'm here to do, and that's why I wrote the book. Thank you.
So, my question to the panel would be, if I wanted to write a book, what direction should it put me in?
Start. That's the first step, is to start.
Okay. How long did it take you?
10 years, because every time I went through my book to edit it, I ended up writing another book and another book until I finally reached a place of where I'm semi-satisfied. So the challenge was believing in myself that I could do this, and with the support and help of other women, because there's 15 other authors on that first book.
it was, that was my challenge, is just believing in myself and having the support behind me to be able to do that.
You can go to Amazon KDP, that's what I use.
At least kind of like looking at the mountain and I felt very accomplished, because I put everything that was going on in my journey down, the words, and I could see it helping so many men and women, children. It's gonna be great. Very excited.
I would be a female black voice in this type of industry for poetry, and to be able to speak to what is rarely spoken about for people that don't get to voice how they feel in a creative and free space.
I think the biggest blessing here is that it is finally recognized as a national holiday after so many years when we were supposedly free. So I also mean that it means a brighter future for us, that we are going in the right direction, that we are able to come together as Black people within this community, because I've never met any of you before today, but I could feel the love. And that's what it means, a celebration of freedom, joy, peace, and love. All right.
Hey.
You know